Hey everybody, Corporate Hiker Guy here with you. Today I've got an important gear tip, and while I think this applies to all hikers, I think today's tip is especially critical for older hikers. So let's check it out. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the trekking pole. Hey, I know not the sexiest piece of hiking gear, but if you get the trekking pole right, you can hike safer with more endurance, and it can be a knee saver. So there's going to be three aspects of the video. First, we're going to talk about when to use one, when not to use one, the different types of trekking poles, fixed length, foldable, adjustable. Then we're going to talk about the proper use of a trekking pole. And then finally, we're going to talk about the benefits. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you my absolute favorite trekking pole. I've used many different types, so I've had a particular trekking pole that I've been using for the last few years that I absolutely love. I mean, it's even become like an old friend. So, hey, we'll keep it lighthearted. I think you'll find this information interesting. Probably some things in here you haven't heard before. Let's dive in. To pole or not to pole? Should you use trekking poles when you're on the trail? I think for most people, the answer to that question is yes. It is tempting to be hands-free without poles. You know, you actually exert a little more energy using trekking poles, but I think the benefits, the stability, the safety of trekking poles greatly outweigh those negatives. So that kind of leads us to the question of what type of trekking poles. Now, there's three major kinds out there. There's fixed length poles, which we're not going to really cover in this video. That's more for like the elderly, kind of one step up for a cane, which is good for that group, but that's not really for hiking and backpacking. So two types we're going to focus on today are adjustable poles. So this is an example of an adjustable pole. You can see the clamping mechanism there, and then it telescopes in and out. This is another type of adjustable pole. This is called a twist lock system. Twist, it telescopes in and out. And then the second type of pole we're going to look at today are foldable trekking poles. Now within the foldable poles, you can have fixed length or you can have adjustable within folding, but those are the two main types, adjustment. And I thought it would be fun to score adjustable poles versus folding poles in 5 different categories and see which one comes out ahead. And that may help you decide which kind of pole that you want to use. Okay, so the first category we're going to look at is weight. So in general, which one weighs less, the adjustable poles or the foldable poles? Now, it really depends on what brand you get, how much you want to spend. The lower the weight, the higher the cost. So you can get lightweight in both of these categories. But I'm going to say in general, the folding trekking pole is lighter. So I'm gonna score the folding trekking pole for weight, and that's just because these tubes tend to be thinner with folding poles than the adjustable poles, because these have to have room to telescope in on themselves. So for weight, let's score it for the foldable pole. So the next category we're going to score is durability. Now, this is kind of a decision for me because I've been on the trail and I've seen adjustable trekking poles with the twist lock mechanism stop working, which is a real problem when you're on the trail. But in general, overall, I'm going to give the nod to the adjustable hiking poles when it comes to durability. They just tend to be thicker. Again, we talked about the tubes. These are thicker tubes. And just overall, I would score the adjustable poles as more durable. Okay, the next category we're going to look at is functionality. And we're definitely going to score this one for the adjustable poles. So, you know, they do make foldable poles that are adjustable, but for the most part, those are fixed length, the foldable. So just having the ability to adjust the length, you can use it for multiple people at different heights, and just being able to adjust your pole length, whether you're going uphill or downhill. Functionality wise, we're going to give the nod to the adjustable pole. Okay, the next category is packability. How easy is it to collapse the poles and put them in your pack? There will be times on the trail where there's some level trail and you want to put your poles in your pack. Now, I'm going to give the nod on packability to the foldable poles. You can see how compact that folds up into with the foldable. Now these do, again, they telescope, collapse in on themselves, but you put that in your pack, it's going to be sticking up above. So, you know, I can actually, these poles here, I can be hiking, collapse these while I'm going, ask my buddies, hey, do you mind putting this in my pack? They put it in the back mesh part of my pack and I keep going. So for packability, folding poles. Now, the fifth and final category is cost. And there's a broad range of cost, again, depending on what brand you get, what weight you get. But in general, I'm going to give the cost nod to the adjustable poles just because I think there's so many more choices in the adjustable pole area versus folding poles. So I'm going to give the nod for cost there. So, hey, if you look at our scoreboard, we've got 3 check marks for the adjustable, 2 check marks for the foldable. So with our scoring system here, the adjustable wins out. And I think for most people, you'll be very happy with a set of adjustable poles. Now, there are some reasons to go foldable that we talked about. Later in the video, I'm going to talk about my recommendation for both an adjustable pole and a folding hiking pole. Now, on to the proper use of trekking poles. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at for proper use of the poles is the strap. So you want to go up through the bottom of the strap and then grab instead of down through the top and grab. And the reason for that is if you fall and you go up through the bottom, you're much less likely for the pole to land on your hand. So that's just a safety thing. Now for me, I don't use straps. I took the straps off of mine. I just found them kind of in the way and aggravating. Some people may disagree with that. I would love to get your comment on it. But I think for most people, you should hike with straps. Just make sure you go up through the bottom. Okay, so next, for the length of your pole, you want to set the length so your arm is at a 90-degree angle, a right angle, or slightly more than 90 degrees, but not less than 90. So I'm 6'5", wait, 5'9", so my poles are set to 120 centimeters. So getting your poles set properly is important as well. Okay, the next tip is around proper use of the poles as you're hiking. And what you want to do is you want to have your poles angled slightly forward and slightly propel yourself as you step. If you'll do that, experts say that you can take 20% of the effort and move from your lower body to your upper body, which can be huge. If I said, hey, here's a button, you can press this button and take 1/5 of the energy off your hips, off your knees, off your feet, you would definitely do that. So just be mindful of that as you're on the trail. Lean those poles forward and slightly propel yourself as you're hiking. That can make a huge difference over a long day hike or an extended backpacking trip. And another great use of trekking poles is to create stability on the trail, safety for yourself. So if you're, I don't know, rock hopping or moving along uneven terrain, use your poles to give you that 3 and 4 points of contact. Also, you can use your poles to, if you're stepping up and over something, or maybe stepping up on a ledge or a big step, you can use your poles to lift yourself up. I remember we had a hike on the Appalachian Trail. We were going up to Clingman's Dome, and man, I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes straight up of these huge steps at the end of a long day of hiking. So I used my poles to lift myself up on those steps and to save my knees. So it's super helpful. Also, you can use your poles to create stability when crossing streams. Again, making sure you have that 3 and 4 points of contact. So, hey, now let's move into the benefits of trekking poles. You know, I was preparing for this video. I was really surprised at the sheer number of benefits and uses of trekking poles. I mean, I think the big one is reducing stress off your lower body. Anything you can do to take stress off your knees, off your feet, you want to do that, and trekking poles can definitely help you with that. Another benefit is it also kind of helps you with your posture. As you're walking, you're kind of more upright, which helps with your breathing, can help build momentum on the trail. You know, those are little things, but little things add up to big things over a long day of hiking, or especially over an extended backpacking trip. Other uses are, I mean, you can use your poles to lean forward and rest on your poles like that. You know, I put duct tape on my pole. You know, I use duct tape for repairs and for blisters. So another benefit of having a pole. You can swing your poles to look bigger, to say like a bear or an animal, mountain lion. You can use your poles to ward off animals. You can use your poles as emergency crutches or an emergency splint. And you can even use your poles to massage your calves at the end of a long day. I mean, it's just so many uses. So, hey, pick you up a good set of trekking poles, an essential piece of gear for older hikers, or really any hikers. Now, I'd like to give you the pole that I'm using right now. And That is a Black Diamond Carbon Distance Z. It is a folding trekking pole. So I know, we scored more benefits to the adjustable, but I really like the folding. I just like the packability of it and the weight. This one has served me well. Man, I think I have had this thing for probably 4 or 5 years now. I mean, I honestly have sentimental value attached to this just because so many hikes I've been on. I use it as my tent poles. It is fixed length once you snap it into place. Um, but if you go on Black Diamond's website, they allow you to choose different heights, different length poles based on your height. This is 120 centimeters for me. Again, I'm 5'9". So, man, I love this pole. It's just been great. Again, I took the straps off. Leave a comment about that. But I really like the Black Diamond. I think these are $140 right now. A little bit pricey, but they're super light. They're less than a pound. And this is my recommendation for a folding pole. Now, for an adjustable pole, I recommend the Lecky Journey lights. I think those are kind of a nice mid-range, a nice weight, just over a pound, and about $90. So I think that's a really good. Lecky makes great trekking poles. There's a lot of great choices out there. I mean, you can jump on Amazon if you want to spend a little bit less and find some cheaper versions, but I really like that Lecky Journey light. Check that one out for an adjustable pole. So hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We really appreciate that. And with that, hey, adventure awaits. Pick up a good set of trekking poles. See you next time.